Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist. And yes, I'm your alternative healthcare career coach. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to transition from being a physical therapist to an online success coach.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. What is going on, my Facebook friends, YouTube friends, and all the people who are watching? If you're watching live, please comment live. Watching on the replay, please comment replay. We're just going live earlier today or tonight because we just want to go live, you know. That's the beauty of you having your own show. You can go live anytime you want to, right? Well, anyway, again, I've been missing you personally, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. I haven't been going live because I've been so busy with live, with starting our own small little practice. I've been going live on promoting my therapy clinic, but now we're back here in Alternative Healthcare Career Group, where we actually teach you how to find your alternative career. Well, I think Emma did a Facebook Live Tuesday, and she talked about, billing and stuff like that with the hellonote team. Well, anyway, before I keep on going, check out medbridge.com. Use the code alternative to get 40% discount if you need CEU classes and stuff like that. I personally teach a CEU class too, ladies and gentlemen. I still get CEU classes from MedBridge. So if you need CEU, whatever, we need that, right, to renew our license. Go to medbridge.com, type in the code alternative. You get not just 10, not just 20, not 30, but 40%, so at least you get 40%. So, all right. But before I keep on going, of course, I just would like to do this. Every now and then we put up an inspirational quote in our group. It's Hayes here. Hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring, ladies and gentlemen. Hustle, 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 hustle. And this is not I think it's a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. That our topic and our person that we're going to be interviewing tonight that's his website, thepthustle.com. But you know what? There was a time in my life, there's always a time in your life that back home in the Philippines, I was hustling and I wanted to go here in the States and travel and actually find my career being a therapist and stuff like that. And people there, they were, telling me I won't be successful and stuff like that. But I just kept pushing, ladies and gentlemen. I just kept hustling. And now they're like sending me Facebook messages and like, hey, Michael, are you hiring? I'm like, heck yeah, heck no, I'm not even going to hire you now. So, all right. So going back to that quote here, hustle until your haters ask if you are hiring. The best revenge, according to Frank Sinatra. Is it Frank Sinatra who said it? The best revenge is a massive success. Not a massive heart attack, okay? Massive success. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest for tonight is actually it's a good person, an amazing person that I've been following. I've been following him like crazy, Oh, Anthony Meritato, thank you very much for watching, Anthony. Hey, if you haven't looked up Anthony Meritato, he's like the Medicare guy. Without his help and guidance, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, with Anthony. So thank you very much. Check his website out, learnmedicarebilling.com. All right, let's go back to our guest for tonight. Our guest for tonight, where did that go? Hey, if you can hear me, sometimes my microphone doesn't work. Typing, you can hear me. You do this for me, Coach K, if it's working. Okay, good. So our guest for tonight, it's actually Coach K. They call him Coach K. All right, because I get students here in Martin, Tennessee, a very small town, right? I get students every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, I accept students every 2 weeks. They come in and go. And you know what they always tell me? They know Dr. Kyle Rice from NPTE Hustle. They listen to him. And guess what? I listen also in his podcast. And guess what? I'm learning. Even though we passed the board exam like several years ago, but I'm still learning and all the stuff that he's teaching. And my students, the students that comes in, they feel like, oh, you really know Coach Kyle, Coach K? I'm like, heck yeah, we have some selfies. So I show some selfies during our conferences that we go to, and they're like, oh, you're really good, Dr. Mike. You know Coach Kyle. And I said, well, I saw Coach K again, Coach Kyle, where 2 months ago, 3 months ago at Florida. And I said, hey, I gotta bring you in our podcast and in our show, because I want to make sure, I want to tell the students that I really know you personally. So just to prove something, right? So, well, anyway, Dr. Kyle Rice is a licensed physical therapist hailing from Reddington Shores in Florida. Gosh, spell that, ladies and gentlemen. Reddington Shores in Florida. He is actually known as the NPTE prep coach. Okay, NPTE prep coach and the founder of the PT Hustle. All right, Coach K, he actually helps PT students, obviously in grads, who struggles with standardized exams and actually dominate the NPTE. So, but before we bring him in, I also want to read his bio here in Facebook. That I'm going to go to his work experience. Okay, obviously he owns this his own business now, teaching students how to pass the board exam. But he used to be a travel therapist. Okay, he used to be a physical therapist in a rehab hospital, and graduated at FIU, ladies and gentlemen. So he graduated FIU 24, amazing class that he teach, and he's changing people's lives, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to bring him here, how he transitioned from this traditional job of being a therapist, of being physical therapist, and used his struggles, used his mess, and now it became a message that he's teaching those new grads how to pass the freaking board exam. All right. Oh, Anthony said he's an FIU grad too. So there you go. FIU. Yeah, I forgot that. There you go. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Coach K.
Hey.
What's going on, sir?
Glad to be here, brother. I'm excited. This is a hot show right here. This is nice. I like it.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Well, I just wanted to bring you in. Obviously, I mean, it's been long overdue. Could you please tell us who you are? What did you do, and what prompted you to find this alternative career and teach online, and just changing people's lives? How did this happen? Could you please tell us?
Absolutely. Y'all, thank you, first of all, for just welcoming me into the group. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Mike. Of course, you and I have gotten to know each other very well. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be up here. It's really, truly an honor. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, like you said, my name is Dr. Kyle Rice. I'm a licensed physical therapist, but my students, they call me Coach K. Now, here's the thing. Do I practice as a physical therapist any longer? No, actually, I switched it up. I'm in the alternative careers area because I started off really, and we can get deep into this area, but I struggled a lot with standardized tests coming up through school. I mean, dating all the way back to like elementary school, just struggled. How many of y'all have struggled or don't like standardized testing? Whether it's ACTs, SATs, GRE. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you're part of the team too, baby. So I struggle.
Tell me those words.
I'm telling you, it probably brings back a little bit of nightmares for you a little bit. So go down in the comment box right now for those of you who are live or even on replay, and let me know down in the comment box if you're on team struggle with standardized exams, because your boy was in that situation. Actually, I was in the bottom 10% of all test takers in the nation when it came down to things like the SATs, the ACTs, and all that. So I went to a 4-year university for basic, college and all that. Got my bachelor's. I really wanted to go to medical school, y'all. I really wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon. At least at the time I did, but I struggled with this exam called the MCAT. It's a standardized exam you have to get past in order to get into medical school. But then since I didn't just struggle with this exam. I took it not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but I took it 5 times, just repetitively like failing it over and over again, which led me to have to pivot because I was getting stuck there and I couldn't just sit here and take a freaking exam the rest of my life. I had to make a pivot, and my pivot was towards physical therapy. So I went to PT school. How many of y'all are from FIU? Anthony, I saw you, baby. Yeah, we little Ant. What's up, baby? FIU grad. So I went to FIU PT school. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I told y'all before, I actually wanted to go to medical school and become an orthopedic surgeon. But let me tell you, when I got my first year of PT school, I fell in love with it. Fell in love with my faculty members. I fell in love with what we do as physical therapists. Like, seriously, no offense to my OTs, my SLPs, my chiros, but PT's the best profession, in my humble opinion. So anywho, I fell in love with it, y'all. But at the end of PT school, even those of you who are not PTs, you know that there's a licensure exam at the end. For us PTs, it's called the NPTE. How many PTs are there out there who have gone through PT school? You could be a student or a graduate. You know what I'm talking about, right? NPTE. So I was tripping. Y'all, I was tripping so hard because I had literally failed 13 standardized exams, failed them, bottom 10% of all test takers leading up to my NPTE. So I was in a situation where I was pretty much 0 and 13. Like the scoreboard says, Kyle 0, other team 13. Like, come on. I had lost every single time before that. And so I was like, man, if I don't pass this, I'm going to be $150,000 in debt. Like a degree that really doesn't, like at the time I'm thinking this, the degree that doesn't really mean much because I'm not licensed. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I was like stressing out. That's when I decided, y'all, in PT school, I decided I had to do this different. It was like a life or death situation. I had to do things different. So let me tell you, just on the shorter side of this story, that your boy, Coach K, got like a master's degree in freaking standardized testing. Instead of going all in with PT school, which I put in a lot of time, I did my work and all that stuff. But on the side of that, like my side hustle was learning everything I could about standardized tests, why they make them, why they have 4 choices, what you're supposed to do the best on them, like everything you can learn. I got into every review course, went to Tony Robbins courses for time management and energy management. So I knew how to do time management throughout the exam, everything you could think of. So let me fast forward the story. In October of 2013, sat down for my NPTE. It's big time, right? This is the exam to determine if you're going to be licensed or not. I sit down for this exam. I go into this thing with this mentality that there's nothing that's going to stop me, super confident, all of these things, right? So I walk out of the exam. I'm devastated because I think I failed. Had to wait 6 freaking days for the result. 6 days goes by. We get the results. I pass. Most incredible moment ever. I pass is one of those pass symbols, y'all. I see a pass. Like, Mike, you know what that feeling is, bro? When you get the pass. Man. Oh my gosh.
I failed too. It's just like crazy. It's not, it's funny you mentioned, failing not just once, not just twice, multiple times. And it's not that you're stupid or you don't know anything. It's just that sometimes we just don't know how to do the standardized test.
Absolutely.
And me being a foreigner, I'm like, what is this? And some lady also posted in the group just I think like 2 or 3 days ago. She's like, "Hey, I just finished my degree," and she admittedly, it wasn't an anonymous post. It's just like she put her face there and then everything, and she's like, "Hey, I feel like I just want to find my alternative career, and I failed the exam first try." And I said, "Hey, it's just the first try. I
Right.
failed multiple times, and you
Absolutely.
just have to find a way." And I like what Coach K said, ladies and gentlemen. He had to adjust and pivot. If
Mhm.
you're doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result, it's called insanity, ladies and gentlemen. But you need to learn how to adapt and adjust and pivot. It's not necessarily mean you're changing everything. You just have to adjust a little bit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just like fine tuning, just like a radio. Yes, you can hear it. And once you finally fine tune that radio, that tune there, then boom, you'll get that perfect reception. And then guess what? You're not just going to pass it. You're probably going to ace it. And I wish I had Coach K before. And yeah, so Coach K, so after, passing the board exam, and then after you've aced it, I assume, having the master's degree in standardized test, what prompted you? I mean, I know you've worked as a therapist, right? What
Yeah.
prompted the change? I mean, in going online and changing people's lives. So, did you see the need for that, or what happened there?
So here's the thing, and this is a really important part of the story, y'all. So I took the exam. I got my results 6 days later. I passed it. I'm on cloud nine. Everything is great. All I wanted to do was just be a physical therapist and change people's lives. I was good. I was good with just passing the exam. So with physical therapy, after you get your result, your pass and all that stuff, 10 days later, they actually have this score report that comes out that tell you how you actually did on the exam, like the actual score. So I get the score 10 days later, and you wouldn't believe a guy that was 0 and 13 had failed 13 exams before and was in the bottom 10% of all test takers. I got my score back on this exam, and you wouldn't believe I got a perfect 800 out of 800. Not only did I pass it,
Whoa.
I went into the top 1%, Mike. The top one. I'm like, what? It's so crazy. So freaking
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Insane.
Did FSBPT even question you or what?
I thought I questioned myself enough for FSBPT, bro. I was like, this can't be right. They messed something up. Oh my gosh. Like, for sure. I didn't even believe it. I really didn't.
Oh,
I did.
wow.
So to answer your question though, Mike, you had said, well, how is that making the shift? How did I make that? So I want to say a couple months after that, listen, I was all gung-ho. Coming out of school, I was gung-ho about getting my manual therapy certification. I was going to St. Augustine, doing the courses, and I wanted to go into residency. That was my out. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be the best physical therapist, right? But I had a friend of mine reach out to me. And this friend of mine had found out that I passed the exam and had done well on it. And he was like, hey, listen, I have a friend of mine who's actually like 2 years before you, went to the same school. She's been struggling with the exam. She still hasn't passed it. And now she's on her last attempt for the state of Florida. Like if she doesn't pass it on the next attempt, she's done. She can never work in the state of Florida. So he's like, hey, you think you can help her? And I was like, well, I don't know, but let me give it a shot. So I started training her on the side, giving her the same steps I went through, everything that I learned. I trained her for 6 months, bro. Here's the thing, y'all. Where it all kind of changed for me is when she had taken the exam. All right. I knew she had taken in July. We hadn't been talking for a few days. I knew she took the test, but I knew she wanted her own time, right? It was a big emotional thing. Well, 6 days after she took her exam, she sent me a text message, y'all. And the text message was weird. It was like 5 numbers in a row. I'm like, what the heck is this? 5 numbers in a row. So I literally respond back to her, text her back, and I'm like, what's this? Question mark, question mark. She sends back another message that says, that's my license number.
Ooh. If you can see my arm right now, I'm having some goosebumps here.
Bro.
Oh, gosh. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
I'm having some goosebumps there. Oh,
Mike,
gosh.
that was God's grace, man. That was the turning point. And then from that moment forward, something would bug me every night that, yeah, treating patients is great. Treating patients is amazing. You're changing lives. And I still did residency after that and all that stuff. But every single night, there was something that was like bugging me, like, you need to do something else. You need to train people.
You here?
Hey, my lady, what's up, baby? That's my beautiful wife, Andrea. Shout out. Let's go.
There you go.
Thank you for the support, baby. Thank you. But yeah, y'all, it was bugging me every night that I needed to do it every night. So yeah.
Wow. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear what the story of Coach K here, ladies and gentlemen? He had this big mess, a big struggle, and he turned it into a message. If something is bugging you at night, ladies and gentlemen, in my case, it's Alzheimer's and dementia. It's always in my head, and I just want to treat this geriatric population, and it's there. It's just in my heart. I want to treat geriatrics, and that's it. And I enjoy doing it. And same thing with Coach K. And that's what bugged him. What is it in your heart, ladies and gentlemen, that is bothering you? Hey, I want to do this. That's where your passion comes in. I always tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Always remember the 4 P's. I'm sure Coach K would attest to these 4 P's. Okay, first is your passion. It's like a chair, like a stool. It's not going to stand up without that 4 legs. First P, or the first leg, is your passion. That's Coach K. That's his passion. You know what's the next P, ladies and gentlemen? Is your purpose. He found his purpose in helping other people pass this freaking standardized board exam. You know what's the next P, ladies and gentlemen? Is the profit. There needs to be some sort of a profit, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because if you're not making profit, it's just a hobby, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure it started as a hobby with Coach K, and now he's got profit. Well, you know what? What's the last P is productivity. You have to have some sort of productivity. You just can't do this one time. You just can't do this 2 times. There needs to be a continuity of your profit, which is the productivity. And that's the reason why a lot of companies, they want you to be productive. And all those 4 Ps will make your job or your business or your side hustle or your alternative career to be much more stable. That only then you will find your alternative career, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to ask Coach Kyle. He already found his passion. He already found his purpose. And now we're going to ask, the profit side. I mean, did he initially start with how much with this coaching program? Did he charge like 1 million immediately, or 5 million, or 5,000, or 500, or $50? We're going to ask him how much he did for that profit, and then we're going to also ask him, is it productive? Is this a continuum of profit? All right, let's go ahead and bring him back. Coach, are you still there? There you go.
I'm here, baby.
Could you please tell us, did you charge immediately on that lady that you coach and mentor? How did that happen? How did that go?
Yeah, crazy enough. In the beginning, I was doing it because I loved it, y'all. I was doing it because literally I could train her for absolutely free and really not bat an eye at it, because I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it because I was helping out the people that struggled just like I did. It was a passion for it, right? And so in the beginning, she wouldn't take no money for it, right? Even if I tried, she wasn't gonna do that. So I was like, you know what? Just give me like $10 an hour. Just give me $10 an hour, and I'll coach you as much as I can after work and whatnot on this. But $10 an hour, that's good enough for me. $10 an hour, y'all. Like, seriously, that's how much it started out with. And I literally was doing this for about 3.5, 4 years or so. 3.5, 4 years of charging people like practically nothing to help them pass the NPTE. For me, it was just I was getting paid in the form of them passing the exam. Like, that was doing something internally to me every single time they would pass. So was I charging a lot in the beginning? Absolutely not. I actually did it for several years and not really make a ton of profit from it. Definitely not. it wasn't until I got with Greg Todd, who is my coach, and he's been my coach since I started. And he was like, hey, listen, if we want to actually make this into something serious, create a business out of this, we're going to need you to start charging. And what I've found is that, I started charging in the beginning like $197 to do my training to help people pass their board exam, regardless of how many times they failed it. I started off like $197 to train people for 3 months. Now, did I always stay at that level? No. What had progressed is I found out later that the more people pay for something, the more they pay attention. The more people pay for something, the more invested, the more skin in the game that they have, and actually the better results that are produced. That is one of the biggest mindset shifts that I had to go through. Because I was like, oh, charge them a little bit. Try to get the little, least amount from them. Because as a physical therapist, OT, speech, I know a lot of y'all are, you think the same way. It's like, you're just trying to do what's best for your people, right? You don't want to charge them, right? If you could do it for free, you do it all for free because you're just out there to help people. But then I started to find that the more people pay for something, the more they pay attention, the more invested that they are. And that's what started to happen over time. I started to charge more, and then we started to get phenomenal freaking results.
Wow. It's funny you mentioned that. We really need to have skin in the game, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happened to me too. When I have a speaker coach, ladies and gentlemen, I have a business coach, I have an actual workout coach, what you call this, personal trainer. I pay my daughter's personal trainer $40. She doesn't even have an actual, what you call this, a PTA degree. They're not even a therapist, but $40 an hour to work out my daughter. Gosh, you have to have skin in the game. Now she's losing weight. You know what? Same thing in our geriatric population. There are different facilities that I go to. This is true, Coach Kyle. I go to an assisted living wherein they are not really invested. It's state funded. They're not too much healthy. They're like in a wheelchair, not watching what they eat and stuff like that. I go to this retirement home. They pay out of pocket. And guess what? They're not all are in a wheelchair. They're standing up, they're walking, they're watching what they eat. And these are like 96, 97-year-old residents. And they're like healthier than me, stronger than me. When I do the group exercise, they're like, hey, Michael, are you stopping? Yes, ma'am. I'm stopping. I'm tired. And they're like 96, 97, still working out, wanting extra weights there. Because sometimes in life, ladies and gentlemen, you have to have skin in the game. And the bigger the investment, the bigger the return. The bigger the risk, the bigger the return. And same thing with Coach Kyle, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? He mentioned it already. He had to pay $150,000 for his schooling, not to pass the sport exam. So he kept on going and trying to achieve that next level. And if you really want to find that alternative career, ladies and gentlemen, you need to invest on something. Invest on yourself. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Coach Kyle. You need to find a coach that you will invest in. You have to have a skin in the game. So let's go ahead and, Coach Kyle's still here. So you mentioned about your pricing and then, investing in yourself. So now, how about productivity? How many students do you have right now? I mean, that you've mentored?
Yeah. Wow. So that's great. So we have a lot of students that come through, our programs. Overall, we've helped specifically, as far as like people coming through our programs and getting our products and all of that stuff, we've literally had over 10,000 students purchase our products. We've actually helped easily over 20,000 students with a lot of our free resources, podcasts, cheat sheets, that sort of thing. So our reach is far and wide. But the one thing that I'll say for those of you who are thinking about diving in that area of just starting something new, I just want you to understand that in the beginning, I was doing a lot of just free value, just putting myself out there. And although I wasn't getting paid for it, I believe that not only was I setting up my brand, but I was also getting to the point where people were recognizing the name, that they can go somewhere where, first of all, anytime they were listening to my videos or having my cheat sheets or whatever it is, it made them feel good, right? That was setting up the brand. But then they were getting results just based upon the free value that I was providing each week. Now, did I get any payment from them? No, but it started to create this snowball effect where one person got some value, they passed the exam, and then they told their friend, and then they told their faculty members, and then it just started to snowball. So just remember, you don't have to come out the gate like charging everybody high prices or anything like that. I know your time is valuable, just like my time's valuable. But sometimes starting off, just giving a lot of free value, showing up, being consistent. You don't have to do it for 4 or 5 years or 10 years or anything. I'm not saying that, but allowing people to see what it is that you're able to do for them, what you're able to offer them is really where you want to start.
Wow. Wow. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? When you're giving free, it doesn't necessarily mean, you're giving out for free. You're actually planting a seed there. You're planting a seed, ladies and gentlemen. So every time you're planting a seed, like what Coach K has done, it's not necessarily free. You're not wasting time there. You're planting that seed. You put it there, and you don't see it yet. You may not see it. You plant that seed. You cover it with the soil. You know what the soil is? Actually, it's manure. Those are the challenges in life. And then you have those manure, those soil pushing you down. Well, do you think you need to dig in and get that seed out? No, you keep watering it. You keep putting sunshine on it. And that's what that was Coach Kyle is doing. He watered it by providing those cheat sheets that he has, those free podcasts, those free webinars. And eventually that seed will come out. That whatever you call that plant will come out. And then once that tree has come out, you got those fruits or whatever we call that, fruits of your labor. Then it's ripe for picking. Then you start picking those fruits of your hard labor. Then you can start charging. Then you can start selling your services. Then you find your alternative career, ladies and gentlemen. Like what Coach Kyle said, it doesn't have to be 4 or 5 years. There are ways for you to make this faster. There are ways for you to add fertilizer, add more. It's just like in planting. My wife's been planting and she's learning a lot, that it doesn't have to be long. There's ways for you to hasten and make it faster in the right way. So let's go ahead and ask Coach Kyle. I know he's a very busy man. Let's ask him this last crazy question that we normally ask. Coach K, what is your biggest challenge in finding this alternative career, and how did you turn this around? I mean, and how did it mold you to be the person you are now?
Wow. Yeah, that's that's a that's a lot. That's a great question, by the way. So one of the biggest challenges that I had is mindset. And that is a very common theme. I think generally speaking, as I'm in coaching programs and masterminds, what it really comes down to at the end of the day is a lot of mindset related stuff. It's the mind that really holds you back. It's, maybe how you were brought up, or the things that you were told you couldn't do. Or, to me, one of the things that was blocking me from going down this alternative career route was the fact that, what? I don't have an MBA. Like, nobody in my immediate family are people who've started their own company. Everybody's pretty much a 9-to-5 worker. Nobody's really an entrepreneur around me. Like, how am I supposed to be the one to do that? I have no guidance at all. And so that mindset is what kept me for a very long time from even truly entertaining the idea of going elsewhere, right? And trying something new. It's like, I can't do. How am I going to start a new business? An online course? Yeah, right. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Is that what they call a pipe dream? And you're going to wind up like bringing everybody with you just to crash and burn later? Like, these are some of the mindset related issues, the thoughts that were going through my mind. Now, were those true? No. There were absolute false beliefs. There were things that were planted in my mind. I can't tell you when. Maybe it was when I was a little kid. Maybe it was because of all the failures I had with standardized tests. Maybe someone said to me along the way, like, hey, you know, businesses, most businesses in their first year don't make it or whatnot. Just those ideas that get in your mind that's like, I'm not going to make it. That's the one thing that was keeping me away from making this shift. The other thing was I was already a successful physical therapist. What I call success is the fact that I was making good money financially. I was able to support myself, my wife, and our lifestyle. I was able to still pay down, start paying down my loans. I felt good when I went to work that I was doing good things and I was helping people. Like I felt like I was successful. But here's the thing. I had spent all this time and money invested in what I was already doing. And I really feel that this part, for those of you who are listening, whether this is live or, replay for you, a lot of you that are on the edge of trying to go this route of trying to do something new, but you feel that you've invested so much time and energy into what you've currently been doing, right? Your craft right now. I was in the same situation. I went through a year-long residency where we were doing 60, 65 hours, 70 hours a week with classes. I invested thousands upon thousands of dollars in my PT education beyond PT school. I was still over $150,000 in debt. So I invested a lot. But now to say, you know what, let me leave physical therapy and do something completely new, that was such a hard decision. But it was this idea that kind of whatever you start with is what you have to finish with. I had to break through that idea. And luckily, I had a supportive, beautiful wife that was like, listen, go after your dreams. If you want to be an NPTE prep coach, you want to help people do this, do it. And she was really that support for me that allowed it to happen. But I will tell you, I had this mindset that whatever you start with is whatever you finish with. If you start as a physical therapist and this is what you invested all your time into, you are destined to be a physical therapist for the rest of your life, or an OT, or a speech, or whatever it is. It's like whatever you start with, whatever you end with. And that is not true. The one thing that was calling me each and every day is, Kyle, this is great with what you're doing. You're helping a lot of patients, but this isn't what you're truly meant to do. I have something else for you. And I can tell you right now that I am living in my purpose. This is my passion. I've never been more passionate about something before. And so I know that I'm exactly where I should be. So for those of you who are thinking about, but I've spent so much time here, I want you to know that just because you started doing that, that doesn't mean that you need to finish it. Just because it gave you fulfillment maybe in the beginning, that doesn't mean that something else can't fulfill you even more. Take the leap of faith.
Wow. I think you were just talking to me, Kyle.
I was talking to somebody, baby. I was talking to myself too.
Oh gosh. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Those are like, oh gosh, those are value bombs there, ladies and gentlemen. I just would like to reiterate, spell that, ladies and gentlemen. I need a standardized test on spelling and whatever. Reiterate what Coach K said. Your mindset. The words that comes out of your mouth, ladies and gentlemen. You know why it's called mindset? You're setting your mind to it. If you're setting your mind to positivity, guess what? You get positivity. You set your mind to negativity, guess what? You get negative. Your words are very powerful. It's like seeds again, like we talked about earlier. You plant a positive word, you get a positive result. You get a negative. You plant a negative word, you get a negative result. It's like an orange seed. You plant an orange seed. Guess what? You get an orange tree, orange fruit. You plant an apple seed, ladies and gentlemen. You get an apple tree, apple fruit. And whatever you planted in your mind, the mindset that he's talking about, it's going to become a reality. Whatever the words, because the words are very powerful. It's a vibration. It becomes a reality because when you see it, you forget. When you hear it, All right, you remember, but when you declare it, it becomes a reality, ladies and gentlemen. So people who are posting in our group, I mean, it's okay. We're posting stuff and everything, but every time you're saying you can't find a job, you can't find a job, you can't find a job, well, guess what? You won't find that job. I'm going to be honest with you. If you keep on declaring, hey, tomorrow I will going to apply for 5, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 applications, and I'm going to get this job. Well, guess what? You're going to get that job. You're going to find the alternative career. All right, Coach Kyle, I know you're a very busy man. Where can we find you? Where can we reach you? And any last parting wisdom again for our group?
Absolutely. So, for those of you who are PT students, you're preparing for the NPTE, you know your boys got you, Coach K. Let me help you out. All right, we got a free private Facebook group where I go in there live, just like we are now. I go in there live and drop absolute fire each week to help PT students get in the right mindset, to get the right tools to dominate the NPTE. So if that's you, you can easily go to www.nptegroup.com. We also got a website. You can check us out. We got courses there, and we can talk to you about what are the best resources for you. But the first step would be to go to www.thepthustle.com. All right, check those out. If you have any other questions, let me just drop our email down just in case you want to shoot us one of those. That is help@thepthustle.com. It looks like my man Mike got it already laid up on the screen for you. So check us out again if you're having any issues. For the rest of you that, again, you are new grads or you've been out for a while, one of the major things that I can say to you is this. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for listening to this right now. I'm proud of you for getting to this point because it lets me know that there is part of you that wants better, that wants more, that wants that thing that you've really been searching for, that you feel like, I know that this is the better route for me. I know I should at least try this route. There's part of you that believes it. You're thinking about it. I know you are. And for that, I want to say I'm proud of you because there's a lot of people that are not even going to entertain. They know they should, and they're not even going to entertain it. And they'll turn me off or turn this off really quickly, but you're staying here. So for that, I'm proud. But the second thing I need you to do is just ask yourself, why am I not taking that leap? Why? Is it because I'm scared? Is it out of fear? Because fear, as my mom always says, is false evidence appearing real. It's not even real. That fear that you have, there's not even evidence for a lot of those things. So what's holding you back from making it? Is it because it's fear? Is it because you don't have the guidance? If it's because you don't have the guidance, this is one thing that I could say to you because I was in that same spot. You got to watch what seed that you're planting. Mike's been talking about that heavy, right? The seed that you're planting. Are you planting seeds related to getting guidance? For those of you who are Christian, for those of you who are religious, for those of you who pray, are you praying for guidance? Are you saying, you know what, today I'm going to get guidance. Today I'm going to plant the right seeds. This week right here is going to be my week. Something is going to happen this week to guide me down the route of my alternative career choice. I'm going to meet the right person this week that is going to guide me down the right road to where I'm supposed to be in this life. Are you planting those seeds? Because if you're not, try that out for yourself. Not doing it for me. Do it for you. Plant those seeds starting right now, tonight, moving forward this week. I will have guidance. The expectation that I will meet the right person that will guide me to ultimate fulfillment. Do it.
Wow. Oh, wow. That is so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't stop listening. I just wish he keeps on talking, right? I mean, if you feel like he needs to keep on talking, I mean, I need to. No wonder I'm like hooked up with with his podcast. I'm like, so powerful, Coach K. Again, thank you very much, Coach K. I know you're a very busy man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the guidance. Thank you very much for guiding the next generation of therapists, for guiding not just not just helping them pass the board, you're actually teaching them how to be a better person. So again, thank you very much, Coach. I really appreciate you. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast, letter F, fast, letter F. Find friends that will push you to your next level, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So who are you hang out with? Tonight, I hang out with an awesome person named Coach Kyle. I feel like I'm awesome. I feel like I want to be like his voice, right? I'm like, oh, I want to be like a radio announcer like Coach Kyle. Something like that, right? So find friends. You need to be meaningful, specific, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he's already preaching it. You need to declare. You need to find people that will bring out the best in you. Okay? Be meaningful, specific. You just can't be just a wandering generality, you know, like a zombie. It's like, oh, I'm going to be a zombie like Walking Dead. No, you need to find people. When you're hang out with those people in your workplace, gossiping, well, guess what? You're going to be gossiping too. Hang out in the barbershop, guess what? You'll end up having a haircut. You need to be specific, ladies and gentlemen. Find friends. And letter A, you know what's the letter A? Take action. Take action by reaching out to Coach K. Take action by going to his website, by thepthustle.com. Take action by emailing him, help@thepthustle.com. And you don't have to, you know, it's not about, you know, just passing the board exam. He offers coaching too. You know, he offers coaching too, just regular coaching, you know, coaching me or whoever. All right, so take action. Next letter is letter S. You know what letter S, ladies and gentlemen? Shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, guess what? You're going to miss it. When you miss it, you're going to be landing with the stars. It doesn't matter how many times you failed or fallen or got sick. What matters is how many times you get up and do this all over again. Coach Kyle failed. Not once, not twice, multiple times. I failed multiple times. I keep on failing, ladies and gentlemen. I just got rejected in another assisted living today or yesterday. I called them. They're like, oh, we don't need your services. So that I get rejected all the time. But it doesn't matter how many times you get rejected, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of learning how to adjust and adapt and pivot, like what Coach K said. Then you can achieve your alternative career goal. You know what's the last letter, ladies and gentlemen? It's letter T. Is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more, ladies and gentlemen. So just like Coach K's doing. I mean, do you think he's mastered the standardized test in one time? No, he's teaching it. And the more he's teaching it or taught, the more he's teaching it, let's just say like that, the more he's actually understanding it. And the more he becomes the expert in that field. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same channel. Thank you again, Coach K. Appreciate you. And we'll see you again, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. You have a good night. Bye-bye.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.